Quizzes actually engage your customers or engage prospective customers. And then at the same time, you don't just engage with them, you learn more about them based on the quiz results. And then you can segment them and put them into different categories and then designate the content that they're going to get. I don't know if you've seen ads or posts where they say, hey, take this quiz to find out what level of entrepreneurship level you are in, or what level of accounting you're in, or what level of, and then you do the quiz and then they tell you are at basic level accounting or intermediary. When you use a quiz, you can organize these groups into seeing different content, and Alice will show you how you can actually do it with Noomu, which is very handy, where you just take a couple of questions, they answer the questions based on the questions and the results of the questions. You can design exactly what they should see next. If you want to give them a one-on-one session, or if you want to move on to put them into an email series where it's going to be automated, and then they're going to get a couple of emails that are designated for them. And it's a very actually powerful way of building lead magnets, right? It's a little bit different from like a free opt-in offer, because you could potentially give them something once they answer the questions, right? Answer the questions in order for us to know where you are and what level you are in. And then you will be getting this document at the end of the quiz, right? So you can definitely add that in the email series that they're going to get, or the page. But this is just a really powerful way of getting to know your customers, dividing them into different segments and categories and trying to learn about them. And a lot of other platforms, when it comes to quizzes, sometimes you have to pay for an app or a plugin, but this is built in.
Yeah. You were talking about from the marketing perspective, why it's powerful, but also from the customer perspective, is that they are engaging with you. So they're already engaged, as opposed to signing up for a form and getting a free offer. They are thinking about themselves. You're not doing mind control, but you are. You're planting thoughts into them, making them realize maybe, oh, this is where I need help. And I do need to do better at that. And then you're showing them, I can help you with that. So it's super powerful. Not everybody wants to take a quiz, but you're connecting with the people who are willing to engage, who want to explore that. So it's actually an easy thing to promote too, especially if you add, which Yusuf talked about, is maybe a little free gift that they get with it as well. You can test that out if that works better, or if it works better to just send them to an offer. So let's look at the quiz pages. So you'll see as an overview before I open it. So this is going to be the main part of the quiz, where we put the quiz widget, and then where Yusuf was talking about redirecting people based on their score, we made 4 pages, people at different levels of their personal growth. So here we go. This is just a page, and we added the quiz widget. It's under lead generation. That makes sense, because you can connect it to email marketing. You don't have to, but you absolutely can. And this one is connected. So anytime you want to add that, you can just put that into a page. Let's take a look at how it was set up. I'm going to look at the quiz settings first. You can see you can be notified on each submission. There's a little progress bar, which is a good idea to have, because if you've ever done an online quiz and you want to know, oh my goodness, they're asking so much, it's taking forever. Well, how close am I to being done? And you want them to allow them to go back. That is all set there. I'm going to move this because Zoom is in the way of it. And you can change like the button text that says here, or what it says to go back and forth. Here is the connect to email marketing. And I believe when you guys grab this template, it is going to have this part for you, but you should check this when you do get yours, and you may want to change the listening or something like that. And you want to select lists. So we made a real growth quiz list. So they're going to get added to a list automatically. You can also tag them, which you can make lists out of later. And you can also tag based on the results, which is useful and good for the tips that Yusuf gave you. So those are the basic settings. Now, how do you make a quiz? I think we've set you up with, even if you want to use a different quiz, we've set you up with a framework here that you can certainly use and adapt and do in different ways. To actually change the content of the quiz, you go to edit fields. And you can see that this is actually a 12-step quiz, but it has 10 questions, because the first step, we just made an introduction, welcome them, tell them what to expect, let This quiz will help you reflect on how you're doing in key areas like mindset, etc. You'll get a simple score and some personalized guidance. No pressure, just insight. And then the last page is the place where they can give you can actually make them give you the name and email address at any time. You can remove that if you don't want to do it. But this one, if I go to edit field, yeah. So it'll just say almost done. Let's stay in touch. Just enter your name and email, and we can keep you up to date on real growth news. If you want to change any of the text of that, so anytime you have entered a field, it's here. And then that's the heading, that's the large text, and then that's this part, the smaller text. So you can change anything you want about it. And let's maybe look at some of the questions and how that works. So again, the question 1, positive thinking, is here, and then the question we put here. I regularly notice and challenge my own negative thoughts before they take, I can't see it because before you guys can't see it either, before they take over. And to keep it simple, we just did a multiple choice, which makes it easy for them to fill out, but gives them an opportunity to think. And the options were never, sometimes, often, always. And then we gave a score from 1 to 4. Obviously, 4 is that, and always is better in this case. And so you format all your questions this way, that if they say never, that should be a negative thing. And if they say always, then it's a positive thing. And then that way, when it calculates the score, it makes sense and there's consistency. And you can use a tool like ChatGPT to help you make these questions. So you say you're doing a totally different topic, maybe a quiz on fitness or something like that. And you would tell them, this is my scoring. Never is a score of 1, always is a score of 4. And can you give me 10 questions on people to rate their own level of fitness that makes them think and makes them realize where maybe they aren't doing as well. And then also say what your product is that you're promoting. And my ultimate goal is that I can show them how to improve that. So you would give it all the details, and then you got all these questions, and basically you can run through this template and change the questions however you'd like. And then those pages that we made for you is manage quiz results. So you go under there, it says settings, and here you can see, or we'll take a peek at those pages too. 10 to 17, 18 to 25, 26 to 33, 34 to 40. It's arbitrary, but also makes sense, right? You get this range. And you can actually send a thank you message that pops up on the quiz widget if you prefer. But we made pages so that we can make a button to the membership site. You can also tag these people. So if you wanted to get more specific on how you follow up with them, you add a tag, which can trigger a different follow-up series. So it probably makes sense that the people who get 10 to 17 would get a different follow-up series than the people who get 34 to 40. So maybe we'll take a peek at those pages where they go. And these can certainly be fleshed out, but we do not want to change anything. Score 10 to 17, you're in survival mode. It's okay to admit it because you're not alone. Life has felt heavy lately, and you might be running on empty more often than not. And it has a little tip for them. And then it leads into the membership, and there is a button to that sign up for the membership. So obviously you can adapt it completely to if you end up having a different membership. You would just update these pages. But if you're teaching personal development, I think, and you're like general, then I think it covers a lot of the bases. This one has managing, but it's not easy. Score 26 to 33, you're on the right track. 34 to 40, they're thriving, but still growing, which kind of gets in their mind that I could still use some help. And obviously they did the quiz, so they're interested in their own personal growth. And you can cater those messages specifically to them. And if you tag them, then you can do a different follow-up.